the town of Silver Haven, nestled beneath a blanket of stars, harbored a chilling secret that unfolded under the silvery embrace of the moonlit nights. Detective Emily Harper, a seasoned investigator with a reputation for unraveling complex cases, found herself thrust into the heart of a mystery that defied conventional explanation. It all began with a series of perplexing disappearances. Residents reported loved ones vanishing without a trace, leaving behind only unanswered questions and an unsettling fear that gripped the community. What made these cases especially confounding was the peculiar pattern that emerged. They occurred exclusively on nights when the moon hung full and luminous in the midnight sky. Emily, initially skeptical of any supernatural elements, was drawn into the investigation as the number of missing persons increased. The moonlit mysteries became a shadowy undercurrent in the tranquil town, casting doubt on the once secure fabric of daily life. As Emily delved into the initial reports, she discovered a shared thread among the victims. Witnesses described eerie occurrences on the nights of the vanishings, whispers that seemed to emanate from the rustling leaves, shadows that moved independently of any discernible source, and an inexplicable compulsion that drew the victims away from the safety of their homes. The detective, known for her meticulous approach, began to assemble a timeline of the disappearances, meticulously noting the lunar phases. A pattern emerged, painting a surreal picture of a town ensnared by a cosmic enigma. Each incident occurred during the moon's zenith, leaving Emily with an unsettling realization that the disappearances might be linked to something beyond the scope of her understanding. Haunted by the reports and the unease permeating the town, Emily felt a growing sense of urgency to untangle the web of moonlit mysteries. Little did she know that this seemingly routine investigation would soon propel her into a realm where the ordinary blurred with the supernatural, and the veil between reality and the unknown began to unravel. The moonlit nights, once a source of beauty, now cast an ominous glow over Silver Haven, signaling the beginning of a true crime odyssey that would challenge the very fabric of rationality. As Detective Emily Harper continued her investigation into the moonlit mysteries of Silver Haven, a peculiar and disconcerting pattern began to emerge. The disappearances, shrouded in the glow of the full moon, seemed orchestrated by a force that defied rational explanation. The detective, poring over witness statements and revisiting the scenes of the vanishings, identified a consistent set of lunar conditions associated with each incident. The moon, at its zenith, cast an ethereal light upon the town during these fateful nights. Witnesses spoke of a subtle transformation in the atmosphere, a palpable change that seemed to permeate the air. Emily's meticulous notes unveiled a sequence of events that preceded each disappearance. Witnesses reported hearing indistinct whispers carried by the night wind, messages that seemed to be both beckoning and foreboding. The shadows, normally benign companions of the night, adopted an eerie autonomy, dancing and morphing in ways that transcended natural laws. Interviews with the survivors revealed a common thread: the feeling of being drawn towards an unseen force, an irresistible compulsion that led them away from the safety of their homes. Emily, though grounded in her skepticism, couldn't ignore the shared experiences that painted a surreal tableau of moonstruck patterns woven into the fabric of Silver Haven. To deepen her understanding, Emily sought the counsel of local historians and occult experts, delving into the town's archives. The pages of ancient manuscripts hinted at a lunar cult that had once thrived in Silver Haven, their rituals intricately linked to the phases of the moon. The detective's skepticism wavered as she considered the possibility that the disappearances were part of a malevolent pact, a cosmic arrangement demanding a toll in souls when the moon was at its most powerful. As the moonstruck patterns became more defined, Emily found herself standing at the crossroads of logic and the supernatural. The once clear line between the rational and the inexplicable blurred, challenging her preconceptions and plunging her deeper into the heart of a mystery that transcended the confines of mere criminal investigation. The moon, once a celestial companion, now cast a dubious light on the town, inviting Emily to unravel the secrets of its luminous enigma. In the pursuit of answers to the moonlit mysteries that plagued Silver Haven, Detective Emily Harper found herself on a path that led to an ancient lunar conspiracy deeply embedded in the town's history. As she delved into the archives and deciphered centuries-old manuscripts, a chilling narrative of occult rituals and celestial pacts began to unfold. The historical accounts painted a vivid picture of a lunar cult that had thrived in Silver Haven centuries ago. The cult's practices, intricately tied to the phases of the moon, involved mysterious ceremonies aimed at harnessing cosmic energies. As Emily combed through faded scrolls and cryptic symbols, she discerned a recurring theme: the cult's rituals were designed to reach their zenith during specific lunar alignments. The detective uncovered the cult's belief in a cosmic force that granted power and longevity in exchange for a sacrificial toll. The disappearances, Emily realized, were not random acts but part of an ancient agreement between the lunar cult and forces that transcended mortal understanding. Determined to unveil the intricacies of the lunar conspiracy, Emily sought out experts in occult history and ancient rituals. Their collaboration illuminated the detective on the significance of celestial alignments and the role of lunar phases in the cult's nefarious dealings. Silver Haven, it seemed, was tethered to an otherworldly pact, and the disappearances were the town's unwilling contribution to a cosmic arrangement. With each revelation, Emily's skepticism waned, replaced by a growing awareness of the town's entanglement in the lunar conspiracy. She grappled with the realization that the Moonlit mysteries weren't merely criminal acts but the result of an ancient occult influence that had endured through the ages. Armed with newfound knowledge, Emily revisited the scenes of the disappearances, examining symbols and patterns that had previously eluded her understanding. The moonlit nights, once perceived as a serene backdrop, became an ominous canvas where the lunar conspiracy cast its insidious shadows. As the detective delved deeper, she sensed a resurgence of occult energies within Silver Haven. The whispers in the wind and the dancing shadows took on a more malevolent presence, signaling the impending climax of the lunar conspiracy. Emily, now both investigator and reluctant guardian, prepared to confront forces that transcended the boundaries of her conventional understanding. The lunar conspiracy, once obscured in the annals of history, now unfurled its tendrils, entwining Silver Haven in a cosmic dance that blurred the lines between ancient rituals and modern investigations. The detective stood at the threshold of a revelation that promised to expose the town's dark secrets and illuminate the path toward unraveling the lunar enigma that held it captive. As the moon ascended to its zenith, casting an ethereal glow over Silver Haven, Detective Emily Harper stood at the precipice of midnight revelations. Armed with the knowledge of the town's deep-seated lunar conspiracy, she felt a palpable tension in the air, a prelude to a confrontation with forces that transcended the boundaries of the known. Guided by the cryptic symbols and celestial clues gleaned from her investigation, Emily made her way to an abandoned observatory that loomed on a hill overlooking Silver Haven. The dilapidated structure, long forgotten by the townsfolk, concealed the remnants of the lunar cult's rituals. Flickering candles and ancient manuscripts hinted at a spectral presence awaiting the next moonlit night. As midnight approached, Emily felt a strange resonance with the cosmic energies that saturated the observatory. The air crackled with an otherworldly tension, and the detective sensed the imminent convergence of the earthly and the supernatural. The celestial ballet, scripted by ancient rites, was about to unfold. At the stroke of midnight, the lunar conspiracy manifested before Emily's eyes. Figures cloaked in moonlight moved in rhythmic cadence, their forms shifting between the tangible and the spectral. The observatory became a theater for a supernatural procession, a spectral ballet that echoed the cosmic forces binding the town to its enigmatic fate. Among the figures, Emily recognized symbols from her research. The moonlit dancers, guardians of the occult knowledge, performed the rituals of ages past. The detective, both observer and participant, found herself drawn into the spectral dance, an involuntary conduit between the earthly realm and the celestial energies that pulsed through Silver Haven. As the midnight revelry unfolded, Emily became acutely aware of the dual nature of the lunar conspiracy. On one hand, the rituals sought to harness cosmic forces for power and longevity, yet on the other, a shadowy presence lurked, a malevolent force that fed on the souls of the unwitting townsfolk. The symbols and incantations, once deciphered as part of the cult's rituals, now took on a more profound meaning. The celestial alignment, a culmination of lunar phases and ancient rites, served as a bridge between dimensions, a conduit through which the cosmic forces interacted with the earthly plane. In the midst of the midnight revelry, Emily seized an opportunity to confront the lunar cult's spectral figures. Armed with a mixture of courage and ancient knowledge, she challenged the ethereal dancers, demanding answers to the town's plight. The moonlit figures, momentarily halted in their celestial dance, regarded the detective with spectral eyes that held echoes of centuries past. As Emily engaged in a metaphysical dialogue with the moonlit dancers, she uncovered the dual purpose of the lunar conspiracy. The cult, once seekers of cosmic enlightenment, had succumbed to a darker force and entity that manipulated their rituals for its own insidious agenda. The midnight revelations marked a turning point in the lunar odyssey. The detective, now attuned to the cosmic energies, faced a choice: unravel the malevolent force that plagued Silver Haven or succumb to the shadows that sought to perpetuate the town's cosmic pact. The observatory, once a silent witness to centuries of occult history, became the battleground for Emily's confrontation with forces that defied mortal comprehension. As the midnight revelry reached its zenith in the abandoned observatory, Detective Emily Harper stood poised for the celestial confrontation. Surrounded by the spectral figures of the lunar cult, their moonlit dance suspended in anticipation, she felt the weight of the town's destiny hanging in the balance. The observatory, now a theater of cosmic forces, became a battleground where the earthly and the supernatural collided. Emily, armed with the ancient knowledge she had gleaned from her investigation, faced the moonlit figures with a steely resolve. The celestial energies, palpable in the air, seemed to respond to her presence in acknowledgement of an earthly guardian challenging the unearthly forces that held Silver Haven captive. In the moments preceding the confrontation, Emily unraveled the twisted history of the lunar cult. What had once been a noble pursuit of cosmic enlightenment had been corrupted by a malevolent entity, a shadowy force that fed on the souls of the townsfolk, perpetuating the cosmic pact and ensnaring Silver Haven in an endless cycle of lunar malevolence. As the spectral figures closed in, their moonlit eyes fixated on the detective, Emily invoked the ancient symbols and incantations she had deciphered. The observatory, bathed in an ethereal glow, became a nexus where the celestial and the earthly converged. The confrontation escalated into a metaphysical battle, a clash of cosmic energies that reverberated through the very fabric of reality. The moonlit figures, once bound by the malevolent force, faltered in the face of Emily's unwavering determination. Shadows writhed and recoiled as the detective channeled the cosmic energies, seeking to sever the town's ties to the malevolent entity. The celestial confrontation unfolded like a cosmic ballet, each movement and incantation carrying echoes of a struggle that transcended moral understanding. Emily, now a conduit for both earthly resolve and celestial energies, confronted the entity behind the lunar conspiracy. The malevolent force, compelled by the power of the detective's ancient knowledge, revealed its true nature: a parasitic entity that thrived on the fear and anguish of the townsfolk, using the lunar cult's rituals as a conduit for its insidious influence. In a final act of celestial defiance, Emily invoked a banishment ritual, a culmination of symbols and incantations designed to sever the entity's hold on Silver Haven. The observatory trembled with ethereal energy as the banishment ritual reached its climax, casting the malevolent force into the cosmic abyss from which it had emerged. As the celestial confrontation subsided, Emily stood amidst the dissipating energies, the observatory bathed in the soft glow of dawn. The spectral figures of the lunar cult vanished, their moonlit dance silenced, and the town below seemed to exhale a collective sigh of relief. The celestial confrontation had wrought a transformative change in Silver Haven. The malevolent force, once a cosmic parasite feeding on the town's despair, had been banished. Emily, the earthly guardian who had challenged the forces beyond, emerged from the observatory as a reluctant hero, forever marked by the cosmic odyssey that had unfolded under the moonlit nights. The lunar conspiracy, once an ancient pact veiled in shadows, had been shattered, leaving Silver Haven to heal from the wounds of its otherworldly entanglement. As the sun rose over the tranquil town, Emily, still bearing the weight of the celestial confrontation, understood that the journey had not only unraveled the mysteries of the moonlit nights but had forever altered the destiny of Silver Haven and the cosmic forces that once held it captive. The celestial confrontation in the abandoned observatory marked the culmination of Detective Emily Harper's Moonlit Odyssey, but the aftermath unfolded with unexpected consequences in the final chapter, Shadows of Dawn. As the first light of dawn began to pierce the lingering shadows, Emily descended from the observatory. The town, once cloaked in an ethereal glow, was now bathed in the gentle hues of morning. The cosmic energies that had woven the moonlit mysteries seemed to dissipate with the retreating shadows. Silver Haven, liberated from the malevolent force that had plagued it for centuries, awakened to a new day, a day tinged with the promise of healing and renewal. Yet, the aftermath of the celestial confrontation left Emily grappling with the residual echoes of the cosmic forces she had confronted. The detective, hailed as a savior by some and an enigma by others, found herself at the center of the town's attention. The once skeptical residents, now witnesses to the unearthly events that had unfolded under the moonlit nights, regarded Emily with a mixture of awe and trepidation. The Shadows of Dawn revealed a community on the brink of transformation, unsure of how to reconcile the extraordinary events with the ordinariness of daily life. As Emily moved through the streets of Silver Haven, she sensed a palpable shift in the town's collective consciousness. The whispers in the wind, once laden with otherworldly secrets, now carried a sense of gratitude and relief. The shadows, which had danced malevolently in the moonlit nights, seemed to retreat before the advancing light of dawn. In the days that followed, the detective became a reluctant custodian of the town's newfound legacy. The ancient symbols and rituals that had once bound Silver Haven to a cosmic conspiracy now faded from public memory, replaced by a collective desire to move forward. Yet, the echoes of the Moonlit Odyssey lingered in the minds of those who had witnessed the celestial confrontation. Emily, still bearing the weight of her cosmic journey, sought solace in the quiet moments of reflection. The moonlit mysteries, now relegated to the annals of history, had left an indelible mark on the detective's psyche. The Shadows of Dawn became a metaphor for both the fading malevolence and the lingering mysteries that refused to be completely vanquished. The observatory, once a focal point of cosmic convergence, stood silent atop the hill, a testament to the town's resilience and the detective's courage. As the days turned into weeks, and the weeks into months, Silver Haven underwent a gradual transformation. The scars of its otherworldly entanglement began to fade, replaced by a newfound appreciation for the ordinary and the extraordinary that coexisted within the town's boundaries. Shadows of Dawn concluded the Moonlit Odyssey, a tale of cosmic forces, ancient pacts, and the unwavering resolve of a detective who confronted the supernatural to safeguard the town she called home. As Emily Harper faded into the fabric of Silver Haven, the Shadows of Dawn gave way to the promise of a future unburdened by the malevolent force that had once cast its ominous pall over the moonlit nights. The town, forever changed, embraced the dawn of a new era, its legacy intertwined with the cosmic revelations that had unfolded under the watchful gaze of the moonlit mysteries.